prison planet be? In the big picture, just broad strokes. Let's get science fiction about it. Let's get futuristic, or let's get right now. But what that would mean, literally, without stretching it, a prison planet would be a planet where beings come and are imprisoned. Okay? So that's one look. Another look at this isn't so much prison planet, but enslaved planet. So an enslaved planet wouldn't be so much about taking the criminals or the revolutionaries or anything like that and bringing them to a planet and making sure they don't get off the planet. No, no, no. A slave planet would be a planet where the major portion of the population is enslaved by the slavers or the masters of the slaves. Okay? So, if we're talking real slave planet, what does that mean? That means what would it have to mean for this to be a real planet that is really enslaved for real? Because we look around here and, hey, I can jump in my car and go to the store and get goodies and talk to my neighbors and go traveling around the world. I don't feel like I'm a slave in an enslaved planet. That's just a metaphor or a turn of phrase or silliness. Or are we really enslaved? Now I say we really are. And I'm going to share with you why I believe this, okay? It has to do with the controllers on this planet, the super rich, the power elite, those in control of finance, banking, insurance, medical, education, technology, energy, everything, okay? These controllers, these rich people, very rich people, Here's what I get. I get this. These people that are in control the government and basically have their own people or puppets in government, in industry, in education, in medicine, in high technology. They're everywhere, okay? And they control what humanity gets to experience as a race. Now, we don't get proper education, we don't get proper medical or healing technologies or energy technologies. We have these wonderful healing technologies to cure cancer and all these different things, but those are illegal. We have tremendous suppression on healing technologies and alternative healing, okay? And as many as there are people, good doctors and researchers trying to get this information out, there are these groups of controllers suppressing the technologies while at the same time pushing illness technology onto us. I'm talking swine flu shots, fluoride in the water, genetically engineered diseases, things like this. This is all going on, and it's the same puppet masters or the same power brokers, super elite power people, okay, beings. Now, with that said, it's a given that there are extraterrestrials out there, and there is an extraterrestrial presence on Earth. Now, if you don't believe this part, you go, oh, that UFO shit, you believe in aliens. Then if you're not getting that, then this isn't a conversation for you. Okay. But this is for the rest of us. That, like, look at the evidence, the documentation, the photos, the testimonies, all of it. And we know that we're not alone. Okay. Not only are we not alone, there are extraterrestrial races, alien races, that have been trying to make contact with Earth who are the friendlies. And there are extraterrestrials that have been making contact with Earth governments, these same powerful groups and people that are running the show here on Earth, they're bad guys. In other words, when I say bad guys, I mean beings or people or groups that are in it for themselves at the expense of the rest of humanity. Control and domination for their own gratification and benefit. And fuck the rest of us, okay? That's the bad guys. The good guys are people who care about not just their own survival, but the survival of their friends, their loved ones, the human race. Okay? We are the good guys into love, freedom, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and all that neat stuff. Okay? Now, the bad guys running this planet, I know, are not allowing the advanced, wholesome, good guy alien races to make themselves known and make a presence on planet Earth. They're not allowed, the good guy alien, ETs, are not allowed to just show up and start interacting, exchanging culture, exchanging advanced technology, helping us with all of our issues, to help invite us into the galactic civilization of normalcy, or the galactic civilization of advanced good guy races. Okay. So there, as I see it, there is an entire, there's more than one, but groups, federations, organizations, galactic organizational structures that allow for peace and harmony and love and freedom and spiritual evolution. Okay. But at the same time, out there in the galaxy, there are the bad guys who are into control and domination. So it's a big thing out there. You might live in a part of the galaxy or the sector of the universe or around here somewhere, and it's all peaceful. But somebody, somewhere else, are fighting the bad guys, because the bad guys are into controlling and dominating the planets and the worlds and the solar systems and like that. Okay? It's, when you look at it this way, it's just a very practical, realistic point of view. It's very normal. It doesn't take advanced spiritual concepts to get that if there are advanced races that have been around literally for millions of years, they have a very high technology. The good guys are at different levels of advancement spiritually, and they can really help our civilization get better. Just with right knowledge, the removal of disease and survival needs like energy, because energy should be free. There's technology that would allow for free energy to power our homes, keep us warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot, food for everyone, living, housing, clothing, the basics. Okay, these advanced civilizations have that. They have the advanced technologies to take care of these things for their race. Okay, and so that allows the race of being to flourish and prosper, to grow spiritually, learn all kinds of neat things, and get involved in their education and their learning and their growth. Okay? So, theoretically, that could be us if we were not suppressed and enslaved by a group or groups who are into control and domination here on planet Earth. And they're in human bodies, and they have bank accounts, and they have mucho money and power and all of that. Okay. But they are not, they have such a grip on humanity that they are able to keep us in the dark, In other words, uneducated, miseducated, misinformed. But not just that. They can keep us sick and ill, and they do so on purpose. Absolutely on purpose, with strategies and reasons and purpose. And it goes from generation to generation. They have their families and their houses and their bloodlines. And they're adamant, they are passionate about keeping this planet enslaved. And they do it in secret. The best way to do it is if the enslaved planet doesn't even know they're enslaved. They do not know how controlled they really are. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this video. I want to bring this up. See, I think what most of humanity, no, I won't say most of humanity, but I think a lot of people, when they look around, they go, what? We're not enslaved. This is not a slave. Yes, we are. We're in contrast to slaves in the 1800s, 15, 16, 1400s, way back. We're talking galley slaves and slaves working in the field, buying and selling humans to do physical labor. We're not that bound that way. But we have to get up, we have to go to work, we have to make money. You cannot survive in most places on earth without making money. Okay? This is called financial slavery. And in contrast to being a galley slave or human trafficking slavery, it doesn't seem like slavery in contrast to that very real, very easy to understand slavery. But if you look at some of these other advanced civilizations, or use your imagination, how it must be, might be, in these other advanced civilizations off planet, they're flourishing, they're prospering, the government structure or the community structure is such that it's of the people and for the people, or it's by leadership that has love and compassion in their heart, and they do it for the populations. However it is, in contrast, in those free worlds, we are completely enslaved. Now, to further my point, here on earth, we do not even get to know that they exist. Our governments know, our governments that are controlled by these power brokers and these powerful families and power elite on planet Earth, they control the governments that know of the extraterrestrial presence, the good guy ETs and the bad guy ETs. They're swinging deals with the bad guy ETs. And so our controllers on planet Earth, they know that there is a galactic civilization out there. They know that there are galactic or extraterrestrial civilizations that want to interact with them. And our power elite do interact with the extraterrestrials, the advanced races. Good, bad, neutral, whatever. Our leadership on planet Earth is fully aware and engaged in the galactic experience of life. Our leadership, humans, human beings that are controlling our awareness, our education, our medicine, our healing technologies, our energy technologies, all of it. They know, and they are keeping us in the dark so that we are their slaves. We do not get to awaken to a greater kind of civilization, a greater freedom and experience on planet Earth with love and compassion and growth and prosperity and abundance and all that, which is totally doable and available right now on planet Earth with the technology that has been discovered. Advanced technology for energy and all kinds of things. It just, all of a sudden, if it weren't for our suppressive, enslaving, motherfucking controllers, and I'm talking the 13 families, I'm talking the bloodlines, I'm talking the New World Order gang, okay? These guys are keeping us in the dark and suppressed. And part of the reason I'm talking about this, I just got to get it off my chest. You know, everybody should be talking about things like this, but it's hard. It's overwhelming. It's like, what can we do about it? Not a thing, you know. Why even talk about it? Why focus on the negative? Fuck you, man. If you don't know what's going on, if there's a gas leak in your house, it's like, what? I don't smell nothing. I don't feel nothing. No, it's a problem. You just don't know it's there until something ignites. And then you're seriously fucked up. So right now, most of humanity, they kind of feel like something doesn't smell right. They're not seeing the problem. They're not getting what the problem is. The problem's here. We're just not seeing what it is yet. And to say, no, don't even focus on it. Focus on the fun stuff, the neat stuff. Well, I think there's a little balance required in that. I do. You know, you gotta know what's going on. The one I like, the metaphor I like is the one where Hitler is over there with his tanks and his airplanes and his guns and his soldiers, and he's on the other side of the fucking hell, the Alps. He's over there, and he's getting ready to invade your country. But nobody in the country that's just about to get invaded is looking. It's all happy, everything's peaceful. And they don't want to look. No, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that ugly stuff. And they just go doo-dee-doo, and then gives the bad guys plenty of time to prepare and do their dirty deed. And here they come, and they come over and they overwhelm everyone. And ta-da, one more enslaved group, nation, peoples. Bad, not good. Okay? So I see that as one of the potential problems of not knowing what's going on around here. You know, you may know, I know about these sort of things, but a lot of humanity doesn't know. Well, when do they know? How will they ever know if we don't tell them that do know? And yeah, they don't want to listen. Yeah, they think it's freaky. Yeah, they think you're a nut bar. But we got to do it. Somehow, if you look, see, the way I look at this is, this isn't, I'm not depending on the quick fix ascension experience thing. Ta-da, it's all better. That'd be great if it is. I kind of keep walking that path and, you know, that'd be nice. I hope so. But I am not betting the fucking ranch on that, okay? It's like, I'm seeing one step at a time over a period of year after year after year after year. Humanity has to wake up. That means enough people have to know how bad it really is and who's doing it in order for us to be able to do something effective about it. Now, what happens with people like us who we know what's going on and how bad it is behind the scenes, but we go, well, what can we do about it? There's nothing I can do about it. I can't do anything about it. And telling one or two people that don't even want to listen and won't believe me anyway, that's not going to do anything. Here's the deal. Not enough people know. Let me rephrase that. When enough people, let me rephrase it one more time. It is tricky. It's hard. What has to occur is that enough people have to understand what's going on. Okay? Enough people so that something effective by these people who know. In order for something to get done, it has to be I believe it has to be a group effort. And the group has to be big enough, well enough informed, and organized and structured well enough to do something effective. And until the group is big enough, you sure don't go head on with these guys. Okay? So it goes in steps and stages, and the first step in solving a problem is, one, considering, is there a problem? Two, yeah. Three, what is it exactly? And then start looking for the solution. But you have to understand the problem clearly. And when you do, you can start taking effective action. Okay? So, not enough of humanity knows what the problem is. And the problem is enslavers, these beings on planet Earth in human bodies with big fat bank accounts and a lot of control in a lot of ways, organized, structured in powerful groups to keep the rest of humanity in the dark. And they control us ultimately through information, through enlightenment, through keeping us asleep instead of awakened. They're keeping us unenlightened, uninformed, uneducated, miseducated, misinformed, mind-controlled, social engineering. All these turns of phrase, all these ways, but it ultimately is our beliefs and what we think, or what we know, or don't think, or don't believe about what's going on planet Earth. And I say what's going on planet Earth is a lot of bad boys that are completely aware of the galactic experience and interact galactically. They're living the good life. They're living, yay, we're in power. We got, life is so exciting. They can interact with their beings on other planets, and they can get in their spaceships and they go flying around. They can do this sort of thing. They can wage their wars. They love the control and domination thing and throwing money and power and weaponry at their adversaries. And the game ensues, and it's exciting adventure. It makes life exciting and worth living for those kinds of beings. The rest of us, life seems to be a little bit draggy, a little bit sucky, a little bit too sucky, a little bit too crappy. Too many weird things going on. Why are my loved ones dying? Our lifespan. I'm getting up there, right? 64 years old, 65. What? That shouldn't be old. Our bodies should live much longer. And that's just age. Suppression on the technology of age, what causes aging and anti-aging and all that. And that's just one little thing. So many things on planet Earth that are being messed with that are keeping us from evolving spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So these guys get to play the game. And they keep the rest of us in the dark, and we become their slaves. Excuse me. Stop it. Sorry. Is it going to ring again? Good. Not. Okay. So humanity doesn't know how bad it is and what it really is doing to us. And I see that if something isn't done, it's going to get worse. Fortunately, something is being done. People like you and me. We are sharing the truth. We're doing the best we can to awaken ourselves and others. But it has to happen, because if you look 50 years down the road, 100 years down the road, 150, 200 years into our future for humanity, you look around and go, whoa, and I'm sure you've done this, and I'm not telling you anything new. It's like, damn, it could get pretty bad. So let's not let that happen. Do what you can do, learn what you can, awaken yourself and others the best way you can, and keep getting the truth out there, especially the younger generations. They got to know what's going on. And you know more, you're older. Just point them in the right direction, get them looking. Okay, is that right? 9/11 inside job, really? All this tracking and mind control stuff that they got going on. There are patents. You can look it up. There's patents, mind control patents, and holographic projection patents. And I hear that there's like over 6,000 patents that in America that the government has absconded with, have taken, saying that it has to do with national security. There's a lot of those, I believe, that have to do with energy technology that would free the world. This whole oil gas thing, Let me say just a little thing on this oil gas thing. It's part of one of the major ways they control us and keep us enslaved. It keeps us in debt and obligated to them on an energy level. Everybody needs oil and gas for their cars. Transportation, you look around, it's just like, whoa. Well, one, there's technology to run engines without gasoline. Okay, there's that. There are vast oil fields in Alaska that are not producing oil for us. Lindsay Williams, some guy Lindsay, Google it, YouTube, tell you all about it. He was there, these vast oil fields. They were being produced, but then they were not giving the oil, they were not shipping the oil. To keep the oil prices up, to keep gas prices up. He said there's like about 200 years, they could keep the U.S. running for about 200 years on the oil just in Alaska alone. And then in other places in the world like Russia, there's like super deep wells, oil wells, more oil not being produced and presented. Okay, so I heard that. Yeah, it was a few years ago I heard about that. Most recently, I heard that a deal was struck with the Mideastern oil guys, the OPEC gang, or Iran, I forget exactly which group, but the deal was the U.S. wouldn't produce oil and would buy the oil from the Mideastern guys. But the deal was you have to buy our you have to take our Federal Reserve notes. In other words, our cheesy money that's losing value all the time. It was that deal. Complicated. I don't get it, but I don't get to all the details, but I do get the part where the U.S. government, in other words, the controllers above our government who have people, they've gotten people voted in these positions so that they can control our legislation, our, the three branches of our government. And so they can get away with all this shit. And one of the things they're doing is not producing oil for America. American oil for American people. Keeping the prices real high. Prices of oil should be really low. And there's no peak oil issue. That's all bullshit. And there shouldn't be any oil gas issue in the first place because of the technology for running your car on hydrogen, water, and just all kinds of technologies that are really neat. So the point is, we're imprisoned on our planet, yeah. We can't get off because the powers that be will not allow advanced space travel technology to be available to us cheap or free. And they will not allow us to even know that advanced civilizations are out there and they want to make contact with us. They're keeping us, mine, they're going to humanity. Humanity's mine. You can't have it. No, I want humanity for my own reasons. I want to live the big, large life, being controlling and dominating the entire world. Yay, look at me. Ooh, me, my family, my group. We are the controllers. Yay. And we want this for ourselves. And it gets deeper. What do they want? It's why does anybody want a bunch of slaves? They want slaves for different reasons. Domestic work, hard labor, sex, all kinds of things. And then there's that emotional hit of just being in control and having someone to dominate and be abusive to. It's all sick and weird and fucked up. But there are major races of ETs that love that shit. And these beings here on planet Earth, these controlling powers, they have connections with those kinds of suppressive enslavers, controllers, and dominators. Okay? This is what I believe. And it's not going to change. I believe it's not going to change unless we get outside help, extraterrestrial help, friendlies, and I do believe that's happening. But we can't just hope that they will fix it all. And then there's the spiritual realms helping and helping change the whole ascension thing, moving into higher and higher realms. Yeah, there's that. But how do we get there? Yeah, there's that. And is it happening right now? Yeah, there's that. But is there anything else we could be doing, should be doing, could be doing? I don't know. Yeah, no, yeah. Or just like, don't worry about it. You decide. I don't know. I really don't know. I just going with my own gut feeling, what I got to do. And if you think it's a good idea to help wake people up, hey, you know what 9/11 was an inside job. These chemtrails are not good for you. There's fluoride in your water. There's a reason for that, and it's not good. Who's doing it? Who's doing it? It's so complicated. Who's doing this? Who's doing that? Who's suppressing educational technology? Who's suppressing energy technology? Who's suppressing the medical technology? It can't be all the same people. Those are too many different people. That's right. There's a lot of organizations out there doing their work, but the way those suppressive mothers are, it's pyramid structured. Groups that control groups that control groups that control groups. And it gets up there, smaller and smaller, to the power groups. There's a thing called the Committee of 300. It's like the superpower people. But there are literally, we hear 13 families, 13 bloodlines. In fact, the latest I heard was there's really about 500 families, 500 bloodlines of these controlling, dominating, enslaving, evil mothers, fuckers. The family, and they're structured and they're organized. There are so many groups that are dark and working us. It's a very small percentage of humanity. But they have such power and understanding and control that they're able to affect massive amounts of people. And that's their plan. They want to control it and dominate and suppress and keep us all in the dark and unenlightened. So it's our job to not be controlled, to awaken, be enlightened, understand what's going on, not just for ourselves, but for our friends, family, loved ones, neighbors, and country, and world. That's the way I see it. So it's not for me, it's not, just all focus on the good stuff. Yeah. That's okay. No, focus, hey, good stuff. Hey, I better tell my neighbors about this. Hey, I better tell somebody about it. Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying. And do it online if you want. Me, I don't talk to people on the street much anymore about all this wild and crazy shit. I let them reach and find it. I do if it comes up in conversation. I don't know, see those chemtrails up there? Those are chemical trails. Well, it's not condensation trails. Google it. And I'll do that sometimes. But everybody has something that they do or can do. It's them. I believe it's what they can do about all this. And it's not all the same thing. Not everybody's job is to open their mouth and tell everybody else all the crazy shit that's going on. Okay, we all can do something. So I'm sure you'll find, if you have any passion for this or any, you know, if this resonates at all with you, there'll be something you can do personally. And it may not be make videos or start a website or anything like that, but something. I'm just saying. Okay. Hey, thanks for listening to my ramble. To wrap it up, yeah, this is a prison planet for real. We cannot get off the planet. We are being treated like shit. We are kept in the dark and not allowed to do the things we would like to do or have the freedoms we would like to have. That's a prison. They just do it in secret, and they just we're limiting they are limiting humanity's freedoms and growth and awakening in a clever way that most of humanity, or a lot of humanity, doesn't even realize it's happening. But they're completely duped, dumbed down, ignorant, unaware, mind-controlled, and messed up, spiritually speaking. They're not getting it, and they're not going to get it unless they can snap out of it. So that becomes our job to help. And of course, it's their responsibility, too, to reach and want to wake up, want to know what's going on. Okay. All right. So there. I guess that's all. I want to do another video sometime about the Matrix, which literally, the physical universe is a matrix universe, literally as a more of a real world out beyond our dimension. But that's another related but different story. All right. Thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate your comments. You can share. Oh, hey, I want to say thank you to everyone who is sharing my videos. This new feature they have that I get, I see how many people are sharing my videos. Wow, I didn't realize people were sharing these cheesy videos. It's good. Well done. And that's a good way, I guess. Good way to. And we got this new feature where we can write a lot in a reply. So you get in the mood and you got something you want to share, just start writing. It's kind of more like a forum-like thing where you can share your thoughts with others. Others can jump in and share their thoughts with you about what we're talking about here. And when I get a chance, I like to get in there and reply to. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And I don't know about you, but I'm a roller coaster freaking ride, man. I'm one day, hey, it's working. And the next day it's like, or it's 1 hour. I'm like, yeah. And like, what happened? Why am I feeling like shit? You know, we don't always know why we were feeling like shit or feeling anxious or depressed. But you got to know that they are throwing all kinds of stuff at us, they being the dark forces. They're throwing all kinds of stuff. Electromagnetic field radiation, fluoride in the water, chemtrails. Those are my big three. Flu shots. It's like, all this stuff. They are really hitting us hard. And we're still hanging in there, man. They haven't won, and they're not gonna. We just keep at it, man. Keep waking up. Keep staying sharp. Google it, man. If you think something's fishy, Google it. And watch out for the disinformation pages. And through all of this, I say, cherry pick anything that I say or anyone that anybody else says for those things that resonate with you and make you feel like there's hope, there's help, there's change, there's empowerment, and there's some light at the end of this weirdness, and the light is coming through, because I don't care how fucking brilliant it sounds or how right it sounds, if you're getting a story that makes you feel bad or worse, wrong vibration, man. And two people might hear the same story, and one of them will go, yeah, and the other one will go, ugh. So it gets weird like that. But this is all about your own spiritual awakening while you're here in this physical experience. And when you leave this physical experience, life does go on. And you take with you what you know. You do not get smarter just because you die. you're dead, and then you're, what? What just happened? Am I dead? You see it in movies a lot. Am I dead? Oh my God. And man, people, just like any other experience, you get set into an environment with some circumstances and you learn fast. Whoa, whoa. You go, wow, this water's cold. I didn't know that. Or you get thrown in some waves in California, Southern California. Wow, these waves hit you. Wow, I didn't know they hit you so hard. I didn't know there was an undertow that'll suck you in. You learn fast when you get in an environment and experience it firsthand. So people drop dead here. They might be clueless about their afterlife, but they get in their afterlife environment and they go, whoa! And they're as sharp as they are and no sharper. Some people get and go, what's going on? I don't know. And they don't reach, they don't think, it's like, huh? They don't get sharper mentally or spiritually just because they croak and end up in another environment. If you're being ignorant and relying on other people's information only without any discernment, and somebody walks up to you in your afterlife and go, hi, come with me, and you go, oh, okay. It's got to be more than that. It's like, do you like that person? Do they make you feel good? Do they look you in the eye? Do they smile? Does it feel weird? Or does it feel like, oh yeah, I like this person? Are they loving and kind and caring and understanding? Are they giving you information? Or are they saying, hi, come with me? Oh, okay. No, look into that light. Let's go. Oh, okay. No, don't do that. Be discerning. Give us some thought. Question authority. Here and in your afterlife. Because your afterlife, the afterlife, this might be the afterlife. See, you came from somewhere before you got here. And you're going somewhere after you leave here, after this physical body expires. It will happen. And I absolutely know that those other places, non-physical realms, are very real. Not physical, but touch it, feel it. God, it looks real, it feels real. It's different than this physical world. So this world isn't the only reality. This isn't the only game in town. We drop dead, we go somewhere else. What happens then? Yeah, there's all kinds of things that can be going on and will be going on and is going on beyond the physical realm. Good things, bad things, in between things. Good beings, bad beings, in between beings. There's all kinds of it going on. And it becomes a heads up, stay aware, stay sharp, so that you can experience your freedoms. So you don't end up in a prison planet or a matrix reality that you don't want to be in. And so when you wake up from this, you experience freedom instead of some kind of weird slavery or trickery. It's deep. It's fascinating. And it's all on you to have an understanding, an awareness, a reach, a look, give it some thought, give it some consideration, draw your own conclusions, and get in touch with your own power. Because we really are powerful, especially in these higher planes. Our wild and crazy imagination creates worlds. Absolutely demonstrable, demonstratable. We can demonstrate that you or someone like you, some people have such good imaginations, in other words, abilities to create in consciousness, that they can create worlds instantly. We all do in dreams. They can do it consciously, knowingly, wide awake. They can touch it and they can feel it and they can walk into it. They draw so much of their consciousness and attention into their created world, consciously created realm, that they are fully extracted from the physical experience. Because the only reason you are here in this physical experience right now, and the only reason I'm here, is because I have this much consciousness, focus, attention, and awareness here now. Our bodies fall asleep, we withdraw our consciousness. How awake are we once we withdraw consciousness? Do we fall asleep when our bodies fall asleep? Yes or no? People that do not fall asleep when their body falls asleep, they feel a vibrational phenomena, which is a vibrational phenomena of them letting go of control and awareness of their physical body. Once the vibrations are over, the vibrational change has been made. A vibration has changed from their physical vibrations. Their physical vibration was in tune and in harmony with their physical body. Now they're changing. Their body's fallen asleep. They shift. They shift consciousness. Now they can literally look around the room and hear things and see things that are non-physical. They have withdrawn consciousness from the physical vibration. And they see what they see. It's demonstrable that we experience this stuff with a consciousness shift. And when we're in these realms, depending on which realm and how you focus and where you go, those realms you can manipulate with your mind real easy. Some of them you can't. Some of them you can fly and walk through the walls. Some places you can't. It's all wild and fascinating, tricky, and subtle. But yeah, life goes on. And so it becomes our job to know about this so you don't experience it on a default level and become the effect of somebody else who does know what's going on. Now, somebody else who does know what's going on may be good, and they're there to help, and you're good. But they may not be so good. They might be and mess with your head. They do it here. You look around, people are messing with you all the time. These powerful people, evil people, mean people, creeps. You know, when they die, do they instantly change? Some of them will change. Some of them are seriously icky beings. So they're going to be in their afterlife doing the same sort of evil shit they were doing here. Just because they died, it didn't make them all better. In other words, wholesome, honorable, loving, compassionate. Just because you die, everything doesn't just change. You are who you are, the kind of being that you are. And others are going to be like that too. So, wouldn't it be great if when you croak, ta-da, you can wake up in a wholesome place. Wide awake, aware, understanding the tricks and tracks, the tricks and traps, and kind of get a feel for how it is and how to proceed. So, you can learn all that here. You can start learning that stuff here. When you have an out-of-body experience, you know, it'd be a good idea to learn how to do that so you can get a kind of a preview of what it's like beyond the physical world. Anyway, just saying. Okay, I should go. Thanks for watching, and I hope it wasn't too long-ass boring for you or like, oh my God.